diplomatic efforts for detained American in Russia was Secretary of State Antony Blinken engaged in a phone conversation with American citizen Paul Whelan, currently held in a remote Russian prison camp. The call, which occurred on Wednesday, conveyed a message of support and assurance from the highest levels of the US government. During the call, Secretary Blinken expressed his unwavering commitment to Whelan's case, reassuring him that the US is diligently working to secure his release and urging him to keep the faith. This marks the second instance of direct communication between Blinken and Whelan, who has been detained in Russia for over 4 years. Their first conversation took place on December 30 of the preceding year. Whelan, deemed unjustly detained by the US government, is permitted to make calls from his confinement in Mordovia. The exact details of how this specific call to Secretary Blinken was facilitated were not disclosed. Paul Whelan conveyed to his parents that he engaged in a comprehensive and candid discussion with Secretary Blinken, though further specifics about the conversation were not provided by his brother, David Whelan. In interpreting the call's significance, David Whelan emphasized the message being sent both to Paul and to the Kremlin. He noted that Secretary Blinken's willingness to personally connect with a detained individual sends a strong message of continued advocacy for Paul's release, underscoring the tenacity of his government efforts. Russian missile strike disrupts power in Dnipropetrovsk. The reverberations of conflict were felt acutely in Ukraine's Dnipropetrovsk region as Russian missiles struck, causing a temporary power outage that affected approximately 10,000 individuals. This incident unfolded early on a Thursday morning, leaving parts of the region without electricity. Serhiy Lysak, the head of the military administration in the region, conveyed this development via a telegram post. Fortunately, no casualties were reported as a result of the missile strike, and efforts were swiftly undertaken to restore power to the affected areas. The attack came on the heels of a prior incident in which Russian shelling led to the death of 1 civilian and injuries to 6 others within the same region. The sequence of events highlights the precariousness of the situation in Ukraine, with civilian lives and essential services being adversely affected by the ongoing hostilities. Delay in arrival of us made F-16 fighter jets for Ukraine. Ukraine's aspirations for acquiring us made F-16 fighter jets have been met with a setback, as it was confirmed that these advanced aircraft will not arrive within the current year. A spokesperson from the Ukrainian Air Force relayed this news, revealing that the anticipated timeline for receiving the fighter jets has been pushed further into the future. Kyiv has persistently sought these F-16 fighter jets from Western allies, citing their potential to enhance the country's air defense and offensive capabilities. The Ukrainian Air Force spokesperson Yuri Inet expressed the realization that the arrival of the F-16s will not be realized during the upcoming fall and winter seasons. A report from CNN earlier in August indicated that the United States was awaiting a finalized plan from European officials for the training of Ukrainian pilots on the F-16s. This training program necessitates us authorization before commencing. Although President Joe Biden had previously announced us support for this training initiative, several essential details still require resolution.